Woo! All right. What do you say we get this going? Welcome back to episode 2, most likely the finale of Let's Paint. Owlman. I'm your host, Trooper 6, and we're starting off with that oxidizer. I went ahead and dry brushed that statue just a bit more. Just a bit more, because I wanted to make it pop. Honestly. If anything, I just wanted to make it pop. So we're going to take this oxidizer, just go all over it, right? All over it. Now this will do you wonders if you have a lot of metal work. Say if you're working on something that has like a metal statue with it or something. Anything like that. This oxidizer, just like the Statue of Liberty, that big old sucker, and how it is turned green and all that other fun stuff. Same kind of effect. I'm not saying that this will turn your stuff green, but it's the same weathering effect. And while I was on break, waiting on some stuff to dry, it's only been a few minutes, honestly. The music kept on going, so I got to listen to a little bit of Primus. I'm so excited to go see them. And then a song popped in from a movie that I hadn't thought about in a while. And that was the movie Swiss Army Man. I don't know if I've ever talked about that on the show. But, dude, if you haven't seen Swiss Army Man, you should. That was fantastic. That was absolutely fantastic. Paul Dino, no offense, man. I'm sure you won't take offense to that. You don't strike me as the type of guy that would. You did a phenomenal job. And I believe one of the only other roles I'd ever seen him in was, the Riddler in the Batman. And that was amazing. That was just fucking amazing. So let's see. All right, we're going to get that ash gray back out because it does just such a lovely job. And then we're going to top everything off with a slight dry brush and or edge highlight. Let's get the moisture off. I don't know if you can see all the moisture that's still on this brush. But man, these dry brushes really, really cling those things. They really cling onto it. So, like a Klingon, Captain. We've got a Klingon cat. Oh, man. I love it when dumbass cartoon shows do that joke. I think the last time I had heard that was Chicken Run. We got a Klingon, Captain. All right. It's also tricky to hit everything without hitting the oxidizing BS. That is on that statue, because I don't want to swipe that. I don't want to swipe that bullshit. All right. Just the top of that head. All right. This is where things might get a little tricky for us. Because I'm trying to pick up a lot of stuff, lighten up the cloak a little bit, just a little bit. Just a little bit, because the mummy robes that we were going to go back through, we're going to, that will absolutely lighten things up. And we're just trying to bring some definition to his cape. We're not trying to lighten the entire model per se. And one thing I kind of wish I had done a little bit was do up a little bit more cleaning for this model. Just because 3D models can get a little, a little maintenance required. All right. And we're going to do just a few up and downs. man, dry brushing it makes you look so much better than you are. I absolutely love dry brushing. It's such an awesome, awesome technique. And as far as music choices now, we've got Hocus Pocus by Focus. That live video. Let me see if I can. Oh, come on. Where are you at? The Midnight Special. Fantastic performance. I can't believe. I found out later that version is actually the sped up version of the song. Not that they sped it up in post or anything like that. No. Apparently the band, their runtime had gotten cut a little, and the producers told them, hey, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to cut a song. And they said, no problem. We'll just play it faster. And they did it. It's just, oh man, is it spectacular. But that song is also now over, so let me try to find something real quick. Oh, Madness. Yeah, okay. I thought that was Madness, the band, at first. Love them. Absolutely love them. You know what? Why not see where evil grows in me? As my children call it, the Dr. Robotnik song. By the Poppy Family, Where Evil Grows. Fantastic stuff. Fantastic. All right. Just a little bit. Yeah, all right. So like I said, we want to basically edge highlight everything with this. We don't want to necessarily lighten up the entire model. But I love the dry brushing, and it can get, I want to say, even addictive. I know I'm not hitting it. I'm just kind of getting my hand in the motion, and then you get closer. You know, I kind of wind it up. I get the rhythm that I want. And then I just get a little closer to it. And let the brush do the job. Oh, man. And I know that cape is going to be my favorite part of this whole model. And that's okay. That's okay. As it'll also be a shame as far as dry brushing. Now, the underside, I don't want to hit too much, you know? It's a little darker on here anyway, so we're just hitting some of the edge, some of the parts that are going to be really exposed to you, like right up there. But we're not going to go too far in there. And the oxidizing is already, it's drying. And I know it's a quote-unquote long process. Not too long. But the Black Legion contrast paint. So this is just going to go all over that base. Because I don't imagine that this statue is going to be in the middle of some kind of earth texture, you know? Kind of doubt that one. What do we have next? Hey, we got some Chapel Roan next. Why not? I bet you Owlman secretly listens to Chapel. You all secretly listen to Chapel, don't you? If you don't know who Chapel is, I mean, hey, whatever. Not something I would chastise you for. I'm not going to be that guy. You don't know who that is? Oh my God, how could you not? I believe I've talked about it before on the show. And why not? I will say it here because I doubt many of you would be watching this series. I only say that because I've noticed a big trend of, or a pattern Unless it's Warhammer, people don't really tune in much. And that's okay. That's okay. It lets me slip things like this in. During my channel update 2.0, the winter break or the Xmas break, I don't remember what the title is now. We do the turntable, and Owlman is on there, and so is a mystery princess that I will not name. Yeah, it's totally going to be Chapel Roan. Totally. That is absolutely my plan. Now, this is where we're going to run into the damnedest thing of it all. We need to hit the Nuln Oil. And we're only halfway through the episode. This is the part that's going to kill me. I even did the eyes. While I was off camera. Sorry. This is the part that's going to kill me. Because I'm usually very worried about Nuln Oil. Now, technically with Nuln Oil, you want to do that, let that dry, then hit your highlights, right? In a traditional sense, that's what you want to do. I do it in the opposite direction. And then sometimes I do go right back and apply it again. Pray for me, all. Pray to the God Emperor. Pray to the Dark Lords. Pray to Odin. Pray to Chapel. I don't care. Let's just see and hope that this works. Because I know the paint is dry. Not just because we did it and that was dumb. But just because we know. We know better. We're not even working with speed paints, and this stuff dries very nicely. Speaking of none of that, you know who I was going to paint? It was on my mind last night, and it was on my mind this morning. And I was like, oh, you know what? Instead of working out, I'm going to record another series and put me through July into August. And it was going to be Spawn. And I do have a very nice Spawn figure. I chose it because it's one of my favorite designs of him. They had a few different ones out there. A lot of people have the same one out there. And I can't remember if I chose one of my go-tos when it comes to when it goes to 3D printers on Etsy, or one of the sellers. But I do know that I chose the model that I wanted, and it's here and everything. I just haven't done anything with it yet. Now, this is where I've run into the conundrum of what do I do with that statue? Part of me wants to say, dude, we should just hit it. Just hit it and be done with it, right? But I also know that we have that oxidizer on there. So I'm like, all right, do I just let that be? I want to say no, because you can... The oxidizer and all the other paints have kind of lightened up the whole thing. So we are going to risk it. Oh, excuse me. Now, something I've always wanted to address, and I thought about this again just the other day, was I was showing a Mega Man example to someone, because they really liked Mega Man, and I was like, well, so I did a Mega Man, and it's not my favorite work. I don't think I did a very good job, and I almost didn't even post it for you guys. But it was the debut of my new angle, the one that we're working with now. But they were like, well, what's so wrong with it? And I was like, all right, look, this is just where we're going to get really self-loathing about it and too critical of myself, so just bear with me. All right, but this is terrible work. I don't like it. I still don't. It could be worse, but I still don't like it. It's not as bad as Zero turned out to be. Good Lord, that travesty. Um, but I was like, it's just not something that I'm proud of, and I feel like that is totally okay to be just not proud of your own work every time, because not everything is going to be your best work. And then they go, well, don't you say you're a professional painter? Yes, I am a professional painter. However, I will even point out, okay, if we're going to go with this kind of train of thought, because I can already see where you're going with it. When you go see the doctor, is it not called a practice? It's a practice for a reason. You know, all the time they're running into shit that they don't know what to do with. They don't know. They're like, oh my God, that's new. That's different. Huh, that's weird. Every day. Every day. That's why it's called a practice. Because they are practicing with you, on you. Just, yes. There's not a single expert out there. Well, I would say, yeah, there's totally some experts. But even they will get stumped. You know, the human body is such a mystery. The human mind is such a mystery. But that's also why they call it a practice. Because it is practice. You have to practice every day. And that's what anybody would tell you about anything that you're doing. Practice every day. When people are like, oh, I want to make it into the big leagues. I want to be a professional athlete, blah, 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 blah. You know what separates you from those professionals? They practice every day. Every damn day. I like to point out Jaromir Jagr, one of the best hockey players you'd ever see, ever in life. Jaromir Jagr still fucking plays. Still. And the dude's in his 50s or 60s. Goddamn, I don't remember how old he is now. But he's overseas playing in the overseas league. And that dude still plays. So you're going to have to just accept the fact that in order to get to the level that you most likely want to be at, it's something that you kind of have to obsess over. It's not exactly going to be just a hobby for you. And you can have your hobbies. And you don't have to go to the lengths that everyone else is going to. But I feel like if you do want to go to the level that the others are going to, then you have to put in the work. You have to obsess over it just a bit. Just a bit. You know, almost all the time, I am thinking about this painting stuff. I look at my own work constantly. And you can call it vain if you want. That's fine. One, I actually do like looking at my own work. I really do. In a totally vain way. I love looking at my own work. But I also am the most critical person of myself, and I will spend hours a day looking at my work and just critiquing it. Oh, excuse me. Now, I want to say that's it for Homeboy. And we're at 1834 when I looked at it. So all I got to do now is wait for everything to dry, and then I will do the rim on the base, and that's it. That's it. He's done. He's so done. You see that? Now, will the oxidation be counteracted with that Nuln Oil? I really don't know. We're experimenting here, and it's okay to experiment because not everything will work out, but we need to know, right? And I could look it up, but there's no other way for me to know, per se, without trying it firsthand. So I'm just very curious on how this will turn out. I still don't like that dot, but I can move past it. It's okay. Because this was a really nice print. So once again, thank you to Hugh. Thank you, whoever the hell you are. Because I honestly can't remember off the top of my head, and that is on me for who, quote unquote, sent me this. You know, I bought it fair and square. So everybody else, they know, no, I'm not getting these as a handout. I kind of don't want them as a handout. I'd rather give you the money. But if you ever do give me a handout, hey, thank you. That'd be cool. But either way, guys, I'll see you guys on the next round. I have no idea what we're going to paint next. I would call it out and be like, hey, stay tuned for Archeo, the Bloodlord, for the Sanguin Heresy project. I don't know what we're going to do next, okay? Because every time I decide on something, I change it. You know, it's kind of like, what do you want to eat today? How about this? You know? But either way, guys, I'll see you on the next round, alright? Stay happy and healthy. May the Void Father guide your brush. Peace!